everyone, and welcome to this week's video. For the pony enthusiasts, you will be happy to know that we are going back to a pony restoration. And today we have quite a rare one. We have an Argentinian Flutterbye. Now, if you know Flutterbye, you will notice that this looks completely different. And that's because Hasbro, the manufacturers of My Little Pony, when they went to other countries in Latin America, they will use local factories. And these factories didn't always follow the brand guidelines. So in Argentina, where I'm from, this factory was called Top Toys, and they have lots and lots of beautiful and very distinct ponies, and this is one of them. But as you can see, it needs some help. So we're going to do a restoration today. Let's get started. As usual, we'll start with some easy cleaning, in this case with very hot water and soap. Too hot, I think. And I think the safest choice is to soak it for a little while. There is no problem getting the water into the pony because there are so many holes. And then we're going to, just use some soap. I think with the Argentinian ponies and some of, well, the Latin American ponies in general, you never know the quality of the paint and the symbols, so it can be a little risky to use harsher products like I will use for the other ones. So we're going to start with the soap and see how far we get in terms of cleanliness. But we definitely need to remove the tail because it has the metal topper and we don't want that to get wet and rusty. A bit later I will show you a technique to actually remove this metal topper. Normally it's one of the hardest things to do when it comes to restorations, but I think this technique will help you. But now let's do some cleaning and I will see you soon. Now that we have finished the body, it's time to work on the hair. And the main reason why I want to remove this metal topper is because it tends to get rusty quite easily, not just with water but with, I don't know, humidity in the atmosphere. So I will remove the metal topper and I will replace it with some cable ties. But luckily I was able to figure out this other way to do it. Sometimes you can't because the topper is too rusty, too broken, but in this case it's perfect. What we want to do is unflatten it, make it round again, and try to pull it out. And of course, if the hair is all tangled like this, then you will get some resistance. What you can do is clean the hair before you take the topper off. That would have been a good idea. But eventually I did manage to do this, and then all I did was just add some conditioner to the hair and comb and wait, let it soak, comb again until it's all quite untangled and soft. Number 3. The soap did help, but there is one other substance that is actually excellent for cleaning vinyl, and ponies are made of vinyl, and that's acetone. You don't need to buy a bottle like this. If you have nail polish remover with acetone, that should do the trick. You don't need anything else. Just keep in mind though that you should never touch any paint with acetone, which I did for this pony, because it erases symbols and eyes and all of that. Okay, time to see how much of the hair we can rescue. In previous ponies, I tried to leave as much of the original as possible, but there are always some differences in color and in length or texture. So we're gonna leave the bangs, but we're going to remove the rest and rehair or reroot. Okay, now that we are finished with that, it's time to start working on the body. We have some repairs to do. So I'm going to start with my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to take out some of these areas that when I have tried sculpting before, the plastic will like come out. You will see bits of it still, and plastic is much harder to sand or file than the actual milliput I'm going to use, which is epoxy putty. So I'm going to make some indentations to put the putty on top. I am going to also shave some of the ears to avoid these edges that then show up, and make some tiny holes so that the material can go in and it will be a bit more secure in place. And then it's time to mix the epoxy putty with some acrylic paint. I think for some pony colors this is a really good technique, especially because they have these pastel shades, and pastels are, from what I understand, like colors mixed with white, kind of. And the milliput is white, so when you mix it with full colors, it also creates this kind of pastel result. So don't expect great color matching for me ever. Let's see if we can finish the body for this pony without having to paint on top, or only doing some tiny retouches on top. That's the goal, that's the dream. Alright, after a few hours, once this is all dry, we're going to use again the X-Acto knife, plus some filing tools and sandpaper. I'm gonna see how soft we can get this material. It will always look a little different just because this is hard material and the vinyl is a very soft one. So I think even if you get a really good color, you might still see differences up close. Remember, please, also that this camera is very close so you can see everything, but when you put it on the shelf, the pony, it is not too bad. And also, I didn't fix every single dent and scratch that this pony had. I think I like to leave some marks and imperfections because they are part of the pony. And I did consider replacing the leg with a prosthetic leg, but then I thought there wasn't enough damage to justify maybe cutting it all of it off. I have a few other ponies that might be a better fit, but that's something I want to try definitely. Okay, we're almost there. All we need to do is repair some of the symbols, one of which I think I damaged myself. And we're going to repaint the eyes just a little bit. And all we have left then is the hair. So I'll leave you with some music again, and I will see you soon. for the hair, I am going to use the original tail. All I need to do is just replace some of this string and use cable ties, and then we're going to reroot the mane. We're going to use some new nylon hair. Acrylic hair is also fine if you find, for example, hair extensions, colorful hair extensions on eBay or Amazon. Those are perfectly okay. It's just the hair is a little thicker, so you might have to do more styling at the end. Last step, we should try to make all of this hair look a little similar, because we have some old hair, we have some new hair, some decoloration, and what I'm going to use for this is again conditioner, and little by little just grab a small strand of hair. And what I found works quite well is as you use your hair straightener in the minimum temperature, in this case 80 degrees Celsius, and then it's better if you pull the hair, then do the ironing, pull again, ironing, and so on. So you stretch the hair and then you iron it, and that way you're kind of stretching the nylon, I suppose. It helps especially with those very curly bits at the end that are so difficult to straighten. Just one last small note, be careful because it does get quite hot, so wait a little bit before you finish the ironing and do the stretching. Thank you so much for making it all the way to here with me, or welcome if you are just skipping. This is the pony before, and this is the pony after. I love the little girl. As usual, I am not entirely happy with the result. I'm sorry. I know you don't like it when I do this. I think it's like 80% there, maybe. There are still some pink marks that can probably be removed with hydrogen peroxide, so I could try that still. And the hair needs a restyling, I think. You can also see some of the repairs I did on the legs. But I hope that this pony is feeling a little better after this small glow up. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.